There is a peculiar moment in life when one finally notices that everything meaningful has always been happening without effort. Not without participation, of course, but without strain. Like the way grass grows when you are not looking, or how laughter escapes long before you have time to decide whether it is appropriate. And in that same mysterious movement of life, joy does not come when you grasp for it, demand it, or attempt to engineer it. It arrives when the grasping hand relaxes, when the anxious mind unclenches its teeth, and when desire ceases to be a pursuit and becomes simply a quiet recognition of what already is. People often imagine that joy is something external, something to hunt for, something to harvest from a future moment. We are taught to reach for better circumstances, better relationships, better versions of ourselves. Yet in this relentless reaching, we pull ourselves away from the very thing we seek. Desire becomes a kind of exile, a self-created distance between ourselves and the experience of being alive. When you are trying to be joyful, you are already declaring that joy is absent. You are already convincing yourself that life is lacking. And life responds to that posture exactly as you announce it. Because the world is an astonishing mirror, it gives back the face you present to it. Think of a child playing in the sand, not trying to be happy, not monitoring whether the enjoyment is optimal, not questioning the meaning of the moment, just there, completely. The sand between the fingers, the sun warming the back, the sensation of time not existing. That is joy revealed rather than achieved. Desire is a tension in the body, a contraction, a leaning towards something imagined rather than resting in what is present. And when the mind leans forward, it pulls the heart out of alignment with the moment. Consider how you breathe when you want something desperately. The breath shortens, the body hardens, the mind calculates. The experience becomes mechanical. But when the wanting dissolves, the breath softens, and life becomes round again, like a stone worn smooth by a river. No edges, no pushing, no resistance. We have been conditioned to believe that if we let go of desire, we will become lifeless and indifferent, as though surrender implies apathy. But quite the opposite is true. Surrender is not abandoning life. It is allowing life to unfold without strangling it with expectation. It is like loosening the grip on a kite so that the wind may carry it higher. The tighter the grip, the less the kite flies. The moment you ease the hand, the sky opens. The difficulty, of course, is that we desire in order to escape discomfort. We want fulfillment so that emptiness might end. We want success so that insecurity may vanish. We want love so that loneliness may dissolve. But desire does not remove emptiness, it emphasizes it. Desire does not dispel insecurity, it magnifies it. Desire does not eliminate loneliness, it declares it. And so, joy cannot enter while you are constructing walls of wanting. Joy needs space. It needs the mind to unclench. It needs the heart to breathe. Imagine you are sitting beside a river. You want the water to flow a little faster, so you begin scooping it forward. The water does not accelerate, it simply splashes and returns to its own rhythm. Life is exactly like that. It refuses manipulation. It refuses force. You cannot accelerate the unfolding of a flower by pulling at its petals. Joy blooms when nothing is being pulled. For most people, desire is entangled with identity. I want this because having it will make me someone. But look closely. In that moment, you are attempting to use the future to validate your existence. You are waiting for who you are to become acceptable to yourself. And so you postpone joy until you have permission to receive it. What if joy has never needed permission? What if joy is not earned in accomplishment, but revealed in the simple acceptance of presence itself? A man once told me he had spent decades striving for peace. When peace finally arrived, he realized it had been sitting on the doorstep the entire time, waiting for him to stop chasing it. He did not find peace. He stopped running long enough to notice it. Joy is precisely that. Not an achievement, a recognition. The mind enjoys drama. It enjoys pursuit. It loves the story of eventually. But the heart lives only in the immediacy of now. The heart does not know the future. The heart only knows the texture of this moment. So the instant you release the demand for a future moment to redeem you, joy simply steps in, not as an event, but as the natural fragrance of awareness. We think joy requires celebration, perfect circumstances, desirable outcomes. But joy is not an effect. It is the nature of consciousness when no tension is imposed upon it. The moment desire relaxes, experience becomes luminous, because nothing is competing with it. Life is finally allowed to be itself, and you are finally allowed to exist without condition. Joy appears not when you have what you want. Joy appears when wanting disappears. Desire is a promise that tomorrow will complete what today has failed to provide. But today has not failed. Today is simply unadorned, unedited, unembellished. And because of that, it appears insufficient to a mind that expects fireworks. Yet joy is not loud. Joy is spacious. It is the silent permission to exist without performance. Consider how often people look at their lives and whisper, almost unconsciously, that they are not quite there yet. There is always a next milestone, a next achievement, a next improvement. But imagine watching the tide come in. It never arrives, it simply moves. Its arrival is its movement. Your life is like that. The motion is the arrival. We want joy, as if joy were a destination, a certificate, an approval stamp. But joy is simply the contentment of participation. When you wash a dish without rushing, when you listen to a song without evaluating whether it is the right song, when you breathe without trying to improve the breath, a quiet clarity rises. Everything feels round and sufficient. When desire melts, the moment becomes edible. You taste life rather than imagining it. There is a remarkable shift that happens when you no longer want experience to validate you. The world does not appear as a series of negotiations. You are not trying to win the moment, nor trying to be deserving of it. You simply allow it to be, and in doing so, you allow yourself to be. People assume that releasing desire means living passively, drifting without intention. But intention is not desire. Desire reaches outward. Intention arises from wholeness. Desire says this moment must be different. Intention says this moment can be expressed. When musicians perform at their peak, they are not trying to perform. Their effort disappears. The music plays them. When a dancer becomes graceful, it is because movement is happening without evaluation. When lovers are truly intimate, there is no agenda for the experience. The connection simply unfolds in its own rhythm. The moment you stop trying to extract joy from life, joy begins to flow through life. There is a reason rivers meander instead of traveling straight. Their beauty comes from their lack of urgency. They are not hurrying to any destination. They are simply finding their way around obstacles, curving gently, reflecting sunlight as it passes. You might say the river dances by being unhurried. Human beings, however, sprint across life. We push through conversations, rush through meals, compress relationships into transactions, and wonder why joy feels faint. Joy is not faint. Our perception is cluttered. If you sit still long enough, you begin to realize that joy does not emerge from getting what you want. It emerges from wanting nothing in particular. It arises when your presence is no longer bargaining with existence. Observe how a cat sleeps in a beam of sunlight. There is no ambition, no plan, no striving. The moment is enough. And because the moment is enough, the body relaxes, consciousness expands, and life feels immensely warm. Humans could learn from such ordinary magnificence. The paradox is simple. You do not become joyful by accumulating joyful experiences. You become joyful when experience is no longer required to justify itself. Nothing has to improve for joy to appear. Nothing has to be guaranteed. Nothing has to promise permanence, for permanence is another desire in disguise. Wanting this experience never to end is the same agitation that prevents joy from beginning. So allow everything to end. Allow everything to come. Allow everything to pass. Joy lives precisely in that allowing. When desire dissolves, you begin to notice small miracles. The way light touches a wooden floor. The sound of your breath moving across the back of your throat. The warmth of water in your palms. The softness of your own weight as you sit. These have been here all along, but desire blinds you. Desire keeps the eyes pointed elsewhere. It convinces you that meaning is outside of what is happening. Yet meaning is always where you are. People ask how to stop desiring, but any method to stop desire becomes another desire. The moment you try to eliminate desire, you have created a new pursuit. So the invitation is not to stop desire, it is to see through desire, to see its nature. Desire always promises completion, and completion never arrives. Not because life is incomplete, but because you are not separate from what you are seeking. The moment you release desire, you return to yourself. And in returning to yourself, joy appears. Not like an object that has entered the room, but like light that was always shining behind the curtain. You do not need joy. You are joy when nothing obstructs your being. So sit quietly within your life. Let the story unfold. Do not lean forward. Do not brace for loss. Do not calculate worth. Let reality be naked, unpolished, unarranged. And you will discover that the peace you attempted to manufacture has always existed naturally. When desire is released, the heart becomes transparent. Nothing blocks its radiance. Nothing protects or contains it. Nothing needs to, for joy is not fragile. Joy is the effortless nature of awareness, and when awareness rests, joy breathes. When joy breathes, life awakens. And when life awakens, you finally recognize that nothing has ever been missing. Not then, not now, not ever.